Welcome back, hustlers. We're talking episode 10, family values. We're talking Yonathan's emotional breakdown. Is Terron just chilling? And all of T.I.'s baby's kids. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yourself in the music, the moment, own it. Hey, never let it go. You gotta like rap.
One shot. It's
Do
like,
not
hey,
miss your chance to blow.
this was Yonathan. This whole episode, he was about to blow it. Look,
He was about to lose himself. He only had one opportunity.
look, and it's coming close. I don't know if Yonathan gonna make it next week. He's come so close.
You know what we should have actually played? We should have played Emotional by
Destiny's
Child. Emotions taking me up.
We'll see if we have that for next week.
All right, we need to play
Welcome
that for
back,
him.
hustlers, to another Grand Hustle After Show. I was gone last week.
Yes, welcome
Chellz
back.
was holding it down for me. I'm Kayla Rene'e. My girl is here with me.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Chellz Evette.
Yes, we're missing Shamari today, though. I'm like, well, look, we ping-ponging. Like,
I
one going and one
know.
back. But yeah, so this episode was crazy. It was like Yonathan's emotions was into it. They had to watch T.I.'s kids, so the Harris family was in attendance. But yeah, Terron was just caught chilling. George was, usual Uncle George. And, we have our usual eliminations. But what did you think about it, Chellz?
Of course, Crystal and Gracie came out on top. That's
Of
expected.
course,
They've
yeah.
been coming out on top every episode. I love Yonathan. He's been like my favorite since day one.
Hasn't he?
But I was just really concerned at him getting emotional. But here's the thing. It's like I could understand where he's coming from, because I can definitely say I'm a disher, more of a taker.
Yes.
So you have somebody just coming at you about your outfit, and it's like you can't really go off because those are T.I.'s kids.
Yeah.
But it's like you still have to defend yourself. So he just like, I like it.
Yeah.
Because you really want to be like,
He wanted to fight. I think
Yeah, exactly.
Yonathan was so close wanting to fight the boys.
Exactly.
That was crazy. So yeah, so our hustlers, everybody listening, the challenge this week was family values. So T.I. had them watch his kids. It was everybody had individual assignments. So it was Grace and Crystal were designated Zanique and Deja. Terron and Yonathan were designated Messiah and Damani. And then George, who had help from T.I.'s mom, Latrice. That was my first time ever seeing
Mine
T.I.'s
too.
mom. I was like, wow, she's
Lady was
gorgeous.
his mom the whole time.
Oh my God, his sister.
Yes.
His sister Precious. I did too, especially on the show. Like,
On Family Hustle?
Family Hustle. I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, it says sister down in her little lower third.
Lower third.
But yeah, so George was paired up with King and Major. We all knew that was just gonna go left from the beginning. But yeah, so T.I.'s like, y'all got a little day to spend the day with the kids, do whatever you guys want, whatever the kids want to do, pretty much, and then don't call me for nothing. So,
And you know what? George had the hardest challenge.
he did. It's always harder with like younger kids.
But I'm really not a kid person. I would have done well with any of them. Kids make me so uncomfortable. Like, if I'm left alone with a kid, I'm like, so, you drink? I'm just kidding. Just kidding, guys. I would never ask a child if they drink. But
if
I'm
you
just
drink.
like, I'm left alone with them, so I just felt everyone's pain, because I'm just like, ooh, like,
You
don't
better-
leave me with a kid.
You're better than me, girl, because I'll be ready, like, you tired? You ready to go to sleep? Like, you
Or
need a nap
I
already?
don't even
like,
know what to say to them. I'm just like, so okay. So let's just start with Crystal and Gracie. Like, they were with teenage girls, which I think are the worst.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of
That's
like
so
that
hard.
woman. Like that woman.
I knew I
thing.
was a hard teenager, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, I mean, their assignments were kind of easy. It was like, okay, makeup and, like go run errands for them, even though Deja was kind of giving her a hard time. The 7 ice cubes. And
With the
pink-
desserts, like, it had to be
Yes.
strawberry. Like, I was
Yes.
like, okay, Deja.
Okay, so I feel like maybe that wasn't too bad. Now, Yonathan and Terron could have turned Damani and Messiah around.
Yeah.
I feel like they're mature young men. I feel like they could have just sat down and talked to them.
Yeah, they
You
definitely
know?
could have.
Like, I would have flipped it on them and started asking them questions.
yeah,
you
like,
know?
what are your goals? Are you guys going to
Yeah.
follow after your dad? Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Start grilling him,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I know this is a competition, but honestly, I just want to learn more about you guys. Oh, you do? I would have.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah, they would have been like, "Oh, okay, this would have been different."
Exactly.
But the funny thing about it is, during the challenge, you guys, T.I. told his kids to kind of like act extra and act out and do like a whole bunch of obnoxious obnoxious behavior. So it was like seeing them act like that. I was like, dang, these are some bad kids. But at the same time, I was like, okay, wait, they are acting a little bit.
I don't know if they're too far from who they really are that much. I just love the part where Damani was kind of compassionate. He was like, I just wanted you guys to know, like talking to his family, like everything I did like wasn't on purpose. It's because like, you know, like Pop told us to do. And I'm like, oh my God.
These are some good, well-behaved, well-mannered.
That is so sweet. I was just like, oh, that makes me happy to hear that. Nobody else said it though. He was just like, everybody was like, okay.
Yeah. So we can break down each one. So yeah, starting with the girls again, going back to them. I don't know. Like Deja and Zanika, if they trying to get their belly buttons pierced, I would have been like, I am not the one. Look, no, I'm not
I would
that.
have just been like they said, like, oh well, have you talked to your dad about
Okay,
it?
look,
Like,
get your mom on the phone. I don't know.
yeah, somebody call someone. Like, I'm just your guardian for today. You know, I'm not authorized to make those type of decisions. And I feel like Crystal handled herself well.
Definitely.
Gracie was just kind of being
Following again once.
Gracie and Terron are like two of the same. To
Yes,
me.
they are.
Like they just
shadows.
Exactly. Literally, they fall back into the shadows.
Definitely.
I really forget about them.
Be like, what they do this episode?
Exactly.
But
Crystal did good.
Grace was just like, I don't know. She was just trying to be like too mommy. I don't know. It was like, I thought she was going to do really well because she was like a teacher. So she was going to have those, you know, nurturing vibes. But it was like more like strict mom, but like sassy too. Like, you better do your homework. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You're not going to pass that test. So
right.
It was
like extra positive, but like.
It was like positive and corny at the same time.
And stern.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't know how I felt her vibe. Yeah, I was just like. I would have been laughing at the whole time.
How, like, positive she is, but it's just like always, all the time, you know? It's like, well, we're here to watch you guys today.
It's creepy. I don't know. I feel like it's like creepy.
I think she's just really positive. She's probably like a really sweet person.
Yeah, she seems like it.
Yeah, have like a sweet personality.
Yeah.
The kind that's just like always like, oh no, it's fine. Like, I'll do it. But then when that personality type, when they get mad though,
they blow up. I want to see Gracie get mad. I've seen her. She was seeing her catch like a little slight attitude, but like during the video thing. But it was like we never seen her like super pissed off like George. Yonathan
During the video thing though, she didn't like turn.
Maybe
up.
That's her thing. Like she shuts down like when she gets angry.
Possibly.
Who knows? But yeah, I was like, no, Deja she was over the top with this Fashion Nova outfit that she had to get her little selfies in, but didn't want to catch her slides though. She was like, don't get my shoes.
And then she was like, read the history book. No, read it to me.
I would have been like, girl, look, I can't read. Look.
Oh, the Lord bless
I'm
you
legally
with wonderful eyes.
blind.
Oh, the Lord bless you with wonderful eyes. I think you should be
Isn't
able to
God
read
great?
it. Yeah, there are people who don't have eyes that couldn't read this book.
Like, I know, start flipping it on her. Then she's going to feel bad. She's going to sit up and be like, okay, yeah, you're
exactly.
right. So wait, let's move on to Terron and Yonathan because I think theirs was just like the overall worst of the day.
Yeah.
George's was bad, but it was like, no, this one, like the boys had them wrapped around their finger the whole entire time. Like,
but like Zanik said, she was like, I don't know about Yonathan because talking to T.I., like you like to Jones. I'm guessing that's crack jokes in their jargon or their slang.
In Atlanta.
Like, she's like, you like the Jones too, so I don't know if Yonathan will be able to handle that. Because if you can't handle some kids cracking jokes on you, it's like,
you're going to be real mad when an adult start doing it. Then you're going to be ready to fight.
I would have just had to low-key like do a slight snapback on them. Like, oh, okay, I know you're not talking dreadhead. Like,
okay, like
hit them with something like.
Yonathan, I don't know. Yonathan, we're going to have to see, but he wasn't ready for that challenge at all.
No, he wasn't. They just came for his whole outfit. Like, my dad would wear that if he was acting as a character in the movie, as a lame character.
I know. I was like, dang, that's a roast. Like,
Yonathan was just standing there like,
this is my style. Like.
He
was like, you gonna wear that hat with that jacket? Like, he's like, yeah. Like, I'm like, dang.
Looked like he wanted to cry. I felt bad.
He had that moment where it was like, he gonna cry in the car. Like, you know, when he went outside to get them burgers.
I just kind of felt really bad. And you heard him when he went outside. He was like, I'm going home today.
Yeah, this is my last day for real and everything. Like, you was about to cry before he got to the burger place.
Oh my gosh, Yonathan. I felt terrible for him.
He was so mad though when he came back and Damani was like, I asked for my onions to be diced and these are like
he was like, oh
onions.
yeah, I did. He was like,
no you didn't.
And then Terron just sitting there like, yeah, these ain't diced.
Laughing and stuff. Terron, I was like, are you on a challenge or
you
the
haven't
nephew
lifted a finger? But they did grill him.
Yeah.
Like, are you distracted?
Damani, when he was talking to the cash register lady.
He was like, Terron said, no, I got you 50% off. He said, was that the first offer? Like, they were going in.
Yeah, like, you can tell T.I. like prepped him though, because he was like, you know, you're not supposed to settle with the first offer. Like, you know what I mean? So he was like,
12 or however old he is.
He's like 14.
Exactly. How do you know to negotiate?
Okay, yeah, no, because he was like, oh, we could have got the 70, but you just settled with the 50. Like,
Exactly.
okay, that's fine.
And then it's funny how they kept saying that Terron was distracted, and we were saying that too when he was with Sierra. He was like, it's like almost like T.I. gave them like a heads up, because he kept telling Terron like, you distracted talking to these women. And then he was like, I'm not distracted talking to a woman. He's like, yes, you are. And the fact that you was standing there talking to a woman and you was just with Sierra last episode and she got eliminated.
Terron's weakness is pretty women, clearly, because it's like he can't be himself and he can't focus on work when he get around somebody who pretty and actually giving him conversation. You know what I mean? Like, he was probably like talking about the clothes, talking about the sale and stuff, and she was probably explaining stuff, and he was like, yeah, so, you know, I'm on this little competition, so like, get out of here, like, no.
Exactly. And then what was it, Damani or Messiah, or Damani said, you just laid back, and he was like, your personality, like, it could come off, or that was Messiah, it could come off sneaky. He like you hiding something.
Yes, and that's exactly how I felt too. I was like, dang, that's a classy read from like a little like 20-year-old. Because I'm like, he didn't definitely read you how we were all reading you. Because like I honestly feel like he's way too sneaky, like real too quiet. You're not supposed to trust people who like too quiet like that.
No.
Like, he probably stealing in the back. Like, I don't know.
He's like, that's just my personality. I'm laid back.
He probably pocketing a little shampoos and soaps and stuff in the bathroom. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. There's something about that personality is too laid back.
Ain't it?
He shows no emotion. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't get sad.
At all.
You know, it's just like, this is just, hey, this is who I am.
I'm like,
so
if you're trying to work in like an executive position, that should not be who you are.
No, he should definitely work at like a liquor store. I can see him working at like your local liquor barn. Because all you have to do is say, my man, how much is this? All right, here your change.
Oh my God,
That's
I'm cracking up.
It takes no effort to work at a liquor store.
Your neighborhood liquor store.
I can definitely see him at your neighborhood liquor store.
You going to get you a little Arizona with some Cheetos, and you like, hey Larry, like,
yeah, what's
like,
up, Tehran? How y'all doing? All right, here your change. No, don't worry about it. It's on me. That's it. Takes no effort to do that.
He like, hey baby girl, how's college going? Like,
that's it. We're not getting any more emotion from him.
I feel like he'd work at like Burlington, to be honest. Like,
he probably shops at Burlington for sure. He had like a Latigre shirt on. That's not funny. Okay.
I feel horrible.
Let's move on to the next challenge.
Because I'm over here cracking up. Oh my God. So George had the youngest, and he had help from Latrice. So yeah, he had Major and King. We already know this is like Bebe's kids to the fullest.
Did you notice how George tried to dress like younger? He had like a sideways hat on, like such a narc. You know, like the undercover narc at school, like, but you look really old. I said, why is he trying to dress
trying to hang with the kids?
He had like a sideways hat on.
He did, and he had like some jeans and some like Air Force Ones on.
You still look 50, sir. You're just 50-year-old in a hat.
Oh my God, yeah. He had a hard time with them kids. And after Major slapped that Sprite out his hand, I was like, George is dead.
First Major put gum on his shirt.
Oh, yes, he did.
No.
He would have got a whipping for sure.
No, seriously.
I would have been like, hey, Miss Latrice, I don't know how you guys discipline the kids, but it's like, hey, he just put gum on my T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not going for this behavior.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what T.I. said too during eliminations. He was like, you could have kind of stepped in.
He didn't have a backbone.
No, he didn't even ask for help, which he should have. Mm-hmm. And then Major at the table was still like, oh, well, we still don't like you.
And that's crazy because it was like, yeah, the whole group was just like, no. Even Grandma was like, nah. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't get that vibe from him.
No, he just didn't mesh well with kids.
Yeah, like, that's horrible.
But George doesn't really mesh well with people.
George just need to be by himself. Maybe he need to start his own company, because I'm just like,
he should.
And you can have other people working for you. That way they ain't got to interact with you like that on some partnering project.
That's a great idea, actually, because he doesn't have a personality. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't work well with anybody. He has his moments, though. And I think that this show has helped him be better in those type of moments and situations. You can tell prior to the show, he probably was stuck in his ways. He didn't have to work with anybody. So this kind of opened him up a little bit, but that's still not enough. You can tell his personality is still very like to myself. And I think I'm better.
Because it's like the crazy thing about it is it's like his people skills are horrible, but it's like him as like a business person, he's had like most of the good ideas that they've had like all season, like every group has had. So it's like, George is, I don't know, but it's like
and then
him.
he's supposed to be a professor, but he can barely articulate or explain anything without stuttering or getting choked up.
And see, I thought his lower third said like business marketing or something like that.
It said
so
like business marketing,
like strategist or something like that.
Strategic analyst, and this
Yeah,
professor. Professor Clump?
What is he out here teaching? I don't know. But yeah, he ended up, I think, beating the boys. Like, you could have let the little kids win. Like,
Yeah, like, come on now.
You out here zooming past. Like,
He's just like, he's so competitive. He's like, I don't care if they're 7 and 9. Like, I won.
Like, yeah, like, and
Going
how
back and forth.
And how to remind King at the table, too. Like, yeah, you just mad because I won. He was like, no, you didn't.
Sir, they're 7.
Okay, like, let me eat my cheese pizza, sir.
Please.
And then on top of that, wait, like, we have to go to the beginning because he was like, y'all got to call me Uncle George. And they was looking like, what? Who said that? Like, who said that?
He said, can we call you Georgie? He was like, nah, it's Uncle George. And it was like, Uncle where?
Like, the whole record was like, whoop.
Uncle where? Shake where? We do have.
Like, yes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like, speaking of
shaking.
I know, right? I'm like, speaking of.
Hey, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, right? From dramas, reality TV, sci-fis, and more. There is no network that works harder to serve television fans, but we need your help. Yes. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you. And you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be. They are optional. So hit the subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Now, let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you on air. But for now, thank you for being the best fans and helping us to be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, thank you for that, Chellz. And if you guys
Welcome.
are listening to us on iTunes, go ahead and give us that 5-star rating.
5-star.
So yeah, George basically couldn't get the boys in no type of control whatsoever. He didn't have no discipline. Even the grandma had to step in and snap back because it was like King was kicking it over a trash can or something like that in the facility. She was like, like,
it's like you're telling little kids to go beyond what they already are, and it's like they're gonna really take advantage of that. They're kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you guys just be as bad as you want. Oh, well, we're gonna do the stuff we've been wanting to do without being disciplined. It was like a get out of jail free card or something. Yeah. It was too much.
So these family deliberations, all the kids, you know, they came back together to talk to their dad and let them know how their days went. So yeah, these deliberations was like, they didn't throw everybody under the bus. It was like everybody needed to get eliminated except Crystal and Grace, of course. Grace, once again, slid under the radar along with Crystal. The girls only liked Crystal. They said she was like the best one out of it. So it was like Grace, a package deal once again.
Exactly. I was like, when I heard the girls say they didn't really care for Grace, I was like, oh, she's going home. And yet and still, she's still here.
Sliding under that radar.
And then Major and what's the other one? King, they were like, we don't like George.
It was like, no, whatsoever. Even Grandma was like, nah, we're not feeling
baby,
it at all.
We don't care for him.
And then they was like, you know, the oldest boy said like Yonathan was way too emotional and Terron was just chilling the whole time. And they was like, we honestly can't see none of them working for you, Pop. So
yeah, and I think what helped Yonathan was that he actually is a hard worker.
Yeah.
And he did most of the work. So I think that work ethic kind of overpowers his emotional side. Yeah. But just like T.I. said, when you're in a situation, you might be with some execs, you might be with people who might give you a hard time. You can't just storm out, or you can't even look like you're. I wonder if he's an only child, because it's a little bratty.
We'll ask. That's
or maybe a sister or something. I don't know, but I love you, Yonathan. No shade, no tea. But like, you can't be emotional. Yeah. And that's what they teach us as women. Yeah. So
especially in this industry,
yeah, in this industry as a woman. So a man, I'm pretty sure it's 2 times harder. Yeah. Because men really typically don't even show emotion. So when they do, it's like, oh, you really upset.
You getting broke, like, oh, you upset. Like,
yeah, you upset.
Like, and you getting broke down by the kids on top of that. Like, this ain't even T.I. breaking you down over something that you did not do for the company. Like, these is his kids telling you can't dress, and you was down, like, damn near about to cry.
But you know what's funny? I feel like he could take a breakdown from T.I. over the kids.
I don't know.
Because I feel like an adult saying something to me wouldn't affect me as much as
you like brush it off, like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but if like some 2 girls that were maybe 15 and 16 were like, oh, your hair and that outfit, it's like, It's like, okay, you know, like
you trying it.
That's the problem, because you know that now he can get with T.I., but it's man to man.
Yeah.
But when it's man to kid, it's like I want to step in and really rip y'all a new one and say something, but I can't because
your kids.
You're kids.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's where the hard part came in for Yonathan, possibly.
Yeah, and I think Terron was another like savior for him too, because it was like if Terron was actually doing his job, it probably would have been Yonathan who went home.
Possibly, if Terron ever did his job. Like T.I. said, the last 3 episodes, last 3 challenges, he hasn't done anything.
It was like since the pool party. It was like ever since he started hooking up with Sierra, it was just look, I don't know, down the hill and see, look, Tehran, let's jump into our eliminations. Tehran had to go home, y'all. But it was a long time coming.
It was. I've been saying for the past 2 episodes, Tehran is getting eliminated. Tehran is getting eliminated.
You did.
And yet last episode when Sierra went home, I was completely shocked.
I was too.
I was shocked.
I was like, oh my God. I missed last week, but I was like, oh, I had to go back and catch up. And I was like, what? Sierra gone?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was shocked. And then when they asked kind of Tehran his opinion, he was like, business is business. Yeah. Oh, really? Now it's business.
You brand new today. Keep that same energy when the show's over. Like,
and we ain't seen him, but we've seen Sierra doing every little thing she needs to do. Okay. We ain't seen Tehran do anything.
Will we ever see Tehran do anything?
Go back to that liquor store that he worked at that they took him from. I was so scared Yonathan was gonna go home though.
He was so close, and like T.I. had to tell him again. Like once again, this is like the 3rd time you've been like real slim.
Yeah, I was very nervous for him. I didn't think that George was gonna go home.
George is gonna be bottom 2.
George is probably gonna win.
He might,
and it's gonna be really annoying. But I was
gonna say he might actually win.
Yeah,
it's gonna be him and Crystal are bottom 2.
I think so too. You have displayed the most tenacity
this whole time
out of all of these. Yeah, I wasn't surprised George stayed. I was surprised Gracie stayed. I thought he was going to do 2 eliminations. I thought it was going to be Tehran and Gracie.
He needed to do some individual stuff. Like, you had so many kids that it was like all of them people could have had one kid. Like, everybody could have one kid.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? And it was like...
have to space it out probably for productions, show-wise. But Yonathan stayed. I was so happy, and Tehran went home like I've been predicting for the past 2 episodes.
George was real close too. I don't know. It was like we all know George is gonna stay, but how T.I. was reading him, it was like, ooh, is George gonna go home? It was kind of questionable because he was like, you made it seem like you wanted the grandma to pretty much do everything, like you weren't doing anything. It was just like, you know, he was making fun of him. He was like typical Uncle George behavior, like, oh, psh, whatever, like, you know, type of things. I was like,
really imitated him so well.
Like, I was cracking that. But, you know, of course, Grace was like, yeah, you know, we did amazing. And we tried to tame the girls.
Positive. Yeah. I can see her being a cheer coach.
Me and you both was like, we, or you mean Crystal?
Yeah, she's like, you have to just let kids know that there's gonna be boundaries, and you have to set them.
That's exactly.
I can see her being like a cheer coach,
ready?
or like a guidance counselor, like positivity for like little girls. Like, you guys are all amazing. You're pretty, and you can have anything you want if you just shoot for the stars. Don't let anyone stop you.
That's exactly her like personality. But maybe like she is a teacher though, so maybe that's her calling.
I feel like I want to call her if you go and do something with like some boyfriend.
Positive like affirmations.
It's like you go to something boyfriend, you call like, oh my God, you're amazing. You're a great girlfriend.
You don't need that.
You don't deserve that. Like, it's up to you, sweetie, but if you're going to leave him, you'll find better because you're a great person.
That's
Gracie,
exactly how she sounds. I know Grace, like, hit us up.
I need to call Gracie.
She's like a good person to talk to in the morning. Like, once you wake up,
yes.
Like, it's going to be a positive Monday, Chellz. You're going to do amazing this week, sweetie.
I'm like, thanks, Gracie. Okay, bye. Absolutely. That is Gracie, 100%.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So, anyway... Yeah, Tehran had to go. It was a long time coming. It was just overdue. But
Can't you see Tehran was just like wearing just a wife beater on? He
just looked too frail for me. He was at the pool party with them like SA sunglasses on, and then he had a wife beater on, and I think he had like some khaki pants on, didn't he, or some jeans?
He just
it was
looks
just
like he hangs outside of the liquor store when he's not working it. Yeah, with a cigarette, for sure. When he's not working, when he's on his break.
With his shades on, like, hey, y'all got like 25 cents. That's the best. I got to get the best on.
Yeah, I definitely think he found this on like Craigslist.
I was saying the same thing. It was just like, he just seemed like he didn't have like the I don't even know if it's like mentality, but it was just like he wasn't ready.
He's just not a stand-up guy.
He wasn't at all. At all.
Like, could you count on him? He's so laid back. Like, chill out.
He forgot.
Chill
Like,
out.
I don't know. He might have been another Troy just trying to think about the hot wings more than the actual party that we're trying to have.
I forgot about Troy. That's right.
Troy and his hot wings. But anyway, so before we get out of here, let's dive into some quick little news and gossip.
Ooh, T report.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Y'all, so there's like some craziness going on in the streets. Apparently,
What's
Bernice,
tea?
I know, like apparently Bernice Burgos is back on the scene again. Grandma Bernice.
Grandma Bernice
She
is
back
very
here.
cute.
She's really pretty, but I'm just like, for her to be back on the scene again, and T.I.'s name is in this situation once again. So supposedly, you guys, Bernice, there's a rumor going around that she's messing with Meek Mill now, and supposedly this has stirred up some, I guess, some feelings with T.I. He and his feelings, and he feeling some type of way about Bernice messing with Meek Mill. So now T.I. is beefing with Meek Mill over Bernice, and I'm just like, I hope this isn't true, because I'm like, once again, T.I., you are a married man, and your feelings with these side chicks and like other little boos or whatever should not come to surface, because this is embarrassing.
So many things with a wife. It's crazy.
Like, are you guys even married? She's gorgeous, but it's like,
And she is what, 43?
she gotta be. I don't know. She's a grandma now.
She's in
That's
her
crazy.
40s though.
Yeah.
Because her daughter is about 18 or 19.
I think her daughter's like 22 or something like
So
that.
yeah, Bernice is probably like 45.
Mhm.
Wow,
Probably.
T.I., I hope not, because you have a whole wife and family at home.
And it's like, if so, then it's like, you need to just cut that whole thing, like co-parent with the kids. Hell, they almost grown anyway. And then it's
They
like,
are.
do you and live your best life with your younger women or
he
whatever.
has baby
like,
Harris though.
Oh,
daughter.
yes, Eris.
Is her name Eris Harris?
Yes, it is. Why would they do that to that girl? She got to go by her middle name, like Eris Latrice. I don't know, like.
Latrice is like such a, oh my God, these pictures are getting a little risque.
I know, wow. But for her to be like 45, that's like, she's really pretty.
It's her to be 45 and to have the finances to get the surgery.
That's true.
Is amazing as well.
I'm like, that's also true.
Yeah.
She was messing with Drake at one point too, so
She
Drake probably
was.
gave her a nice little bag
He probably did.
that she secured and got all her work done.
Okay, Bernice.
Yeah, we see you, but yeah, so that's it for our news and tea. Hopefully, T.I. and Meek Mill are not beefing and they can have some like bomb music together. So
Hopefully.
yeah, especially not an Instagram
Yeah.
model like
not
no,
over Bernice, no.
at all. So yeah, that's it for our
Thanks
news
for
and
the
gossip.
tea.
Yeah, so let's get into our predictions for next week.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So we're down to the final four.
Yes.
Finally, like the final four. And their next challenge next week is to have like, they're meeting with executives this time. It's like, oop, we throwing you in the lion's
Individual.
den. Yes, finally. Individual challenges that we waited so long for. And they meet with an executive, and I guess they have to do like daily stuff. It kind of looks like intern work. Like it looked like Yonathan had to like bag up a bunch of clothes, and then it was like Crystal was like cleaning out some closet. And yeah, I don't know, but we'll have to see how that's going to go. But I don't know. It already looked like they was always, I think Yonathan and Grace looked like they were going to break under pressure. So I'm like,
Who do you think is going home?
I don't know. I hope it's not Yonathan, but I'm like, it may be between him and Grace, to be honest. But I'm like, ooh, I don't know who's going to get that third spot.
I think it's going to be Yonathan.
You think so? He's going to have to control his emotions, because it's like, I think once his emotions start showing, T.I.'s going to be like, nope, that's it. Because we done said this 3 times before already.
Yeah, I think he's going to go home. And T.I.'s gonna be like, we had a conversation prior about your emotional state.
And you still just can't get up.
Yeah, I think Yonathan, unfortunately, I think Yonathan's going home.
I'm still going to stick with Grace.
I don't think Gracie's going home. I definitely think it's going to be him.
Damn. It'll be an interesting week.
And my
next
predictions
week.
are usually correct.
I know you
been,
have actually been really correct
like
on the
3
eliminations.
with Jonathan, with Terron,
Yes.
and somebody else I said too.
Jillian.
Yeah. All those people, yeah, they're not here
Wow,
anymore.
psychic, you like a little medium now? You about to start predicting like, who's the winner, Chellz?
I could be a Hollywood medium. Who do you need to talk to?
Burbank medium.
Burbank medium. I do have Tupac on the line.
That's
yeah.
so goofy, but yeah, so we'll see how the final four ends out and see who gets on top next week. Thank you guys for joining us for another Grand Hustle After Show. I'm your host, Kayla Rene'e. You guys can follow me on Instagram at @the_Kayla Rene'e.
And it's your girl, Chellz Evette. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chellz Evette.
Yes, all right. We'll see you later, hustlers.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.